Hey everyone, oh, look at this state of me. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about facial redness and how to cover it with ease. So I've spoken about this before, but actually it was several years ago that I mentioned this. So I thought it would be time to re-go over it. Why not? So in this video, I'm going to be talking to you how to get rid of facial redness or cover it more beautifully with makeup. The problem is that oftentimes with foundations, when it matches our skin tone, if there's excess redness in the face, it comes through the foundation and can give off a bit of a glow or can look a bit ashy sometimes as well. So this is the way to go about it. Now, this technique is not mine, made very, very famous by Eve Pearl, who's a lovely, lovely, very talented 5-time Emmy Award winning makeup artist. So this is the technique that she is very, very famous for. I'm going to talk you through it to show you how to go about it. Now you can use this with a cream or a liquid foundation or even a mineral. I'm going to use a cream and I'm going to use her one because she's lovely and lovely people deserve to be, well, talked about. The purpose is that what you do is you apply a foundation to the areas of the face. So generally speaking, people are red in the cheek area or the forehead or the nose. So you apply the deeper shade here, you apply the lighter shade or your skin tone shade here at your jawline area. And then what you do is you mold the things together. Now the reason it works is because a darker shade will cover up redness easier than your own skin tone shade. And also because this area here, we tend to apply color to anyway, blusher, bronzer, all those kind of things. So it's easier to do it this way. So I'm going to take her foundation, I'm going to use medium. So I'm going to take the lightest shade first, and I'm going to, so I've got a beard here. So I'm going to apply the lightest shade right here at the jawline, allegedly. Now, what you want to do is if you want to use the light anywhere else, so if there's nowhere else that's red, so let's just pretend for this tutorial that this is what's red right here. So you could apply the lighter shade as well, say in the forehead area. Now take the darker shade, and this is where you want to apply where any redness is. So the deeper shade is going to go here, and it's going to go all over the nose if that is red too. So that's the areas that we want to cover. This is the red area, this is the darker foundation, and this is the skin tone area. So I'm going to take a sponge, and this has been dampened with water. This is water that you can't find anywhere else. It's Welsh water, so it's very special. So I'm just going to shear out and blend in the lighter shade. Now the reason we use a damp sponge is because cream foundations can get very heavy, and this way it allows us to control it. So I'm going to start to blend the lighter shade first, and with the lighter shade blended, I'm then going to switch the sponge over and I'm going to shear out the darker side. So I'm going over because there's nothing on my face, so to speak, you know, I haven't got eyeshadow on or anything like that. Then I'm just going to turn the sponge back over and then kind of just pat and press everything into place. And this also does a couple of things. It gives a sharper jawline because we've technically highlighted this area here. So this is the lighter area. So it gives a sharper appearance of the jawline. But because the shade ranges aren't a million miles away from each other, you get a very subtle lifting of the face, but you get that coverage right where you need it. And then what you do is you can apply powder, or what we'll do is just apply a bit of color to this area. So just take a brush, and we're just going to get a little bit of cheek color, and we're just going to apply it like this, just in this area. Even though it's kind of funny, isn't it, that we take away the redness and then we put it back in with a bit of blusher, but we're putting in the color we want. So just a little bit of color where we want it. Just smooth things over. And that's the technique. It's really, really clever, and it's really quick because you're getting to shape the face subtly. There's no contouring involved here, because truly the art of contouring a cheek bone is in trying to carve out, unless you really have a cheekbone that's visible, you're never going to get that real carved out effect. So contouring, the way I like to think about it, is adding dimension to the base. It's not about adding a cheekbone, because it's too difficult to look realistic unless you already have a visible area. Just adding dimension to the face works beautifully. But so this is where we've got the color, we've added the deeper color, we've got the lighter color here, and if you want a bit more light in your face, you can always go back in and say you want it just on your nose. You can go back in and just highlight the nose area if that's what you want to have a little bit lighter, or you could highlight, just say, because you've already added the dark, so you could re-add a bit of light if you need it in this interior portion, and just blend that in. But you get the message. Anything that's red tends to get covered. The only time this isn't going to work for you is if you have a lot of redness in your jaw area here, because you're going to need a darker shade, which means you're going to have to darken your neck, or use several coats of a very full coverage foundation, or you could neutralize that area with a green or a yellow and then go over with your foundation. But I like this way. It's really, really beautiful. It looks nice, and that's all that matters. See you next time. Information down there. Bye-bye.